Europe is one of the most visited places in the world. But in 2026, there's one question most people don't ask, and they really should. Where is it actually safe to travel? Because even though Europe is generally considered safe, the reality is a little different. Not every city feels the same, and not every destination is as peaceful as it looks on Instagram. Some places have become overcrowded, more expensive, and in some cases, less comfortable for tourists. But here's the good news. There are still places in Europe where you can travel without stress, where you can walk around at night and feel completely fine, where the vibe is calm, people are friendly, and the experience actually lives up to expectations. And in this video, I'm not just showing you beautiful places. I'm showing you the safest destinations in Europe right now, where to go if you want a truly relaxed trip, and what to watch out for, even in the most popular cities, because a great trip isn't just about what you see, it's about how you feel, safe, relaxed, at ease. So if you're planning a trip anytime soon, this video will help you choose smarter, not based on hype, not based on Instagram, but based on real experience. So let's get into it. Here are the safest places to travel in Europe in 2026. Before we talk about specific destinations, there's something important we need to understand first. What does safe actually mean when you travel? Because safety isn't just about avoiding danger. It's about how you experience a place, how you move through it, how you feel while you're there. First of all, there's the obvious part: crime levels. Safer cities are places where incidents are rare, where you don't feel like you constantly have to watch your back, and where you can actually relax and enjoy your trip. But that's just one part of the story. Infrastructure matters just as much. Public transport, street lighting, clear, organized streets, all of these things make a huge difference. When a city is well organized, you feel in control. You know where you are. You know how to get around, and you don't feel vulnerable. Another key factor: the attitude of the people. In some places, tourists are treated like easy targets. In others, they're treated with respect, and you can feel that difference instantly. Do you feel welcome, or do you feel like you're being taken advantage of? And then there's something even more important: how the place makes you feel. Can you walk around at night without hesitation? Can you sit at a cafe and truly relax? Can you explore without constantly looking over your shoulder? Because sometimes a place might be statistically safe, but the actual experience feels very different. And that's exactly why in this video, I'm not just looking at numbers, I'm looking at real experience, at the atmosphere, at the vibe, at how a place actually feels when you're there. Because in the end, that's what really matters. Not just where you go, but how you feel when you get there. Portugal, Lisbon, and Porto. If I had to choose one of the safest and most enjoyable destinations in Europe, Portugal would definitely be at the top of the list. It's the kind of place where you arrive and immediately feel the difference. Everything feels calmer, more relaxed, more effortless. Lisbon, the capital, is vibrant, but at the same time, surprisingly peaceful. Narrow streets, yellow trams moving slowly uphill, ocean views in the distance. All of it creates a very unique atmosphere. And most importantly, you feel safe. Even at night, in most central areas, you can walk around without any real concern. People are friendly. Tourism is well organized, and the overall vibe is incredibly relaxed. Now, Porto offers something slightly different, but just as safe. It's smaller, quieter, and perfect if you want to avoid heavy crowds. The Douro River, the colorful houses, the famous wine culture, everything feels authentic, calm, unrushed. But like in any popular destination, there are a few things to keep in mind. In very touristy areas of Lisbon, especially on trams or in crowded spots, pickpocketing can happen. It's not extreme, but it's something to be aware of. Aside from that, Portugal remains one of the safest choices in Europe. It's perfect if you're looking for a relaxed vacation, warm, welcoming people, beautiful cities without the stress, and maybe most importantly, a place where you can truly enjoy the experience of traveling. Switzerland, Zurich, and Lucerne. If there's one place in Europe where safety is on another level, it's Switzerland. This is where everything works, almost perfectly, from public transport to the cleanliness of the cities, to the way people respect rules. Everything feels precise, organized, under control. Zurich, one of the country's main cities, is a perfect example. It's modern, highly structured, and extremely safe. You can walk around during the day or even late at night and still feel completely comfortable. The streets are well lit, public transport runs on time, and everything feels predictable in a good way. Now, Lucerne offers a different kind of experience. Smaller, quieter, but incredibly beautiful. Wooden bridges, a peaceful lake, mountains in the background. It almost feels unreal, and just like in Zurich, the level of safety is very high. One thing you'll notice in Switzerland is this: you don't feel the need to constantly watch your belongings. There's no pressure, no tension, none of that background stress you sometimes feel in bigger tourist cities. Everything feels calm, respectful, well managed. Of course, there is one downside: the cost. Switzerland is one of the most expensive countries in Europe. Accommodation, food, transport, everything comes at a premium. But at the same time, you're paying for peace of mind, for comfort, for reliability, for safety. And if your budget allows it, Switzerland is probably the safest travel choice you can make in Europe. The next destination is Austria, Vienna. If you're looking for a city that feels elegant, organized, and at the same time, very safe, Vienna is one of the best choices in Europe. It's the kind of place where everything just feels in order. Public transport works perfectly. The streets are clean, and the overall atmosphere is calm and refined. Vienna is not a chaotic city. It's a city that breathes structure. And maybe that's exactly why you feel so comfortable as a visitor. One of its biggest advantages is how easy it is to move around. The metro, trams, buses, everything is well connected and simple to understand. You don't feel lost. You don't feel confused. And that alone adds a strong sense of safety, because when you know where you are and how to get where you need to go, you feel in control. Another important thing: Vienna is safe even at night. You can walk through the city center, sit at a terrace, or explore different areas without feeling uneasy. People are respectful, the city is well maintained, and everything feels stable. Of course, like in any major European capital, there are busier areas where you should stay aware. But overall, Vienna remains one of the safest capitals in Europe. It's perfect if you're looking for culture, an impressive architecture, an elegant travel experience, and a city where you feel in control. It's not the kind of destination that overwhelms you. It's the kind of place that simply makes you feel good. The other our recommendation is Netherlands, Amsterdam. Amsterdam is one of the most visited cities in Europe, and at the same time, one of the most well-organized. It's a different kind of city, relaxed, modern, and surprisingly safe for tourists. One of the first things you notice here is the infrastructure. Everything is designed around people. Public transport is simple, the streets are clear, and the city is incredibly easy to explore. But what really makes Amsterdam stand out is the balance. It's a lively city, active, full of energy, but without the chaos you often find in other popular destinations. You can walk along the canals, explore different neighborhoods, and in general, you feel safe. Even in the evening, in most central areas, the atmosphere stays relaxed. People are used to tourists. The city is built for it. But there is one detail that many people underestimate: the bikes. In Amsterdam, bikes are everywhere, and not just a few. They're fast, constant, and part of everyday life. If you're not paying attention, you can easily step right into their path. It's not dangerous in the traditional sense, but it's something you need to stay aware of at all times. Aside from that, issues are minimal. Like in any busy tourist city, pickpocketing can happen in crowded areas, but it's not a dominant problem. Overall, Amsterdam is a safe, modern, and very easy city to explore. It's perfect if you're looking for an active city, break something a little different, and a relaxed yet vibrant experience. A place where freedom and safety go hand in hand. The other destination is Spain, Valencia. When people think about Spain, most immediately think of Barcelona or Madrid. But if you're looking for something calmer, safer, and more relaxed, Valencia might be the perfect choice. It's the kind of city that has everything you want, but without the chaos. Beautiful beaches, modern architecture, a charming old town, and a much slower, more enjoyable pace of life. Compared to Barcelona, for example, Valencia feels noticeably less crowded. There's less tourist pressure, fewer petty theft issues, and overall, you feel more at ease. One of the most impressive places in the city is the City of Arts and Sciences, a futuristic space, almost unreal, like something out of a different world. But beyond the attractions, what truly makes Valencia special is the atmosphere. It's clean, well organized, and the people are warm and welcoming. You can walk through the park, head to the beach, or explore the old town without that constant sense of stress. Even in the evening, in most areas, you still feel safe. Of course, like in any city, it's always good to stay aware in very touristy spots. But compared to other popular destinations in Spain, Valencia feels much more balanced. It's perfect if you're looking for a relaxed vacation, a beautiful city without heavy crowds, and a more authentic experience. It's one of those places that hasn't been overhyped yet, and that's exactly why it's worth discovering. Don't forget about Slovenia, Ljubljana, and nature. If you're looking to discover a place in Europe that feels truly special, but without the crowds, without the stress, and without the chaos, Slovenia is one of the best choices you can make. It's a small country, but incredibly well organized, and surprisingly for many, it's also one of the safest destinations in Europe. The capital, Ljubljana, is calm, clean, and very easy to explore. There's no heavy traffic, no overwhelming crowds, no constant rush. Everything feels relaxed. The city center is filled with cozy cafes, colorful streets, and elegant bridges, and the river that runs through the city adds to that peaceful atmosphere. It's the kind of place where you can walk for hours without any stress. But what really makes Slovenia special is not just the city, it's the nature. Just a short drive from Ljubljana, you'll find places that feel almost unreal. Lake Bled, for example, with its small island in the middle, surrounded by mountains. It feels more like a story than a real place. And even there, the level of safety remains very high. This is a country where people respect rules, where nature is protected, and where tourists are genuinely welcomed. There's none of that pressure you often feel in more crowded destinations. Everything is simpler, more authentic, and maybe that's exactly what makes it so valuable. Slovenia is perfect if you're looking for peace and quiet, stunning natural landscapes, and a travel experience without crowds. It's one of those underrated places that gives you far more than you expect. Denmark, Copenhagen. When it comes to high-level safety in Europe, Denmark is always at the top, and Copenhagen, its capital, is one of the best examples of that. It's a modern city, clean, and extremely well organized. Everything feels simple. The streets are open and spacious, public transport is efficient, and people follow the rules. But what truly sets Copenhagen apart is the sense of trust. Here, safety is not just a rule, it's a way of life. It's the kind of place where you might see someone leave their bike unlocked and no one takes it, where you can walk around at night without pressure, without fear, and where everything just works naturally. Another important factor is the quality of life. Copenhagen is often ranked as one of the happiest cities in the world, and you can feel that. People are relaxed, calm, and very respectful. For visitors, that translates in a very comfortable experience. You don't feel rushed. You don't feel stressed. You don't feel like you need to stay on alert all the time. Of course, like in any city, there are small exceptions, but overall, the level of safety is extremely high. The only thing to keep in mind, once again, the cost. Denmark is not a cheap destination, but just like Switzerland, you're paying for comfort, for peace of mind, for reliability, for a stress-free experience. Copenhagen is perfect if you're looking for a modern city break, a clean and organized environment, and a place where you feel completely safe. A clear example of what a truly balanced destination looks like. Europe remains, without a doubt, one of the safest travel destinations in the world. But as you've seen, not every place offers the same experience. There are cities where you can truly enjoy your trip, and others where you simply need to be a bit more aware. And that doesn't mean you should avoid certain destinations. It just means you should be informed. Take Barcelona, for example, an incredible city, but well known for pickpocketing. Paris is beautiful, but in highly touristy areas, it can feel crowded and sometimes overwhelming. Rome is full of history, but tourist traps are everywhere. The point is not to avoid these places. The point is to know what to expect, because in the end, the best trip is the one where you feel good, safe, relaxed, at ease. If I had to choose for 2026, I would go for places like Valencia, Portugal, or even Slovenia, places that offer balance, beauty, but also calm, experience, but also comfort. And if you're planning a trip anytime soon, don't just choose what's popular. Choose where you'll feel your best, because that's what really makes the difference. And if you want to take it one step further, I've created free guides on my website for these destinations, where I show you exactly where to stay, which areas to avoid, and how to plan your trip without stress. You'll find the link in the description, and if this video helped you, save it or send it to someone who's planning a trip, because sometimes the best travel decision is an informed one.